Chapter 14. Real versus Ideal Self. The Struggle for Authenticity. Who are you, really? If you were to strip away the expectations of society, the projections of others, and the carefully curated image you present to the world, who would you be? Would you recognize yourself? Would you even like the person staring back at you? Every day we navigate between two versions of ourselves: the real self, who we are at our core, and the ideal self, who we think we need to be in order to be accepted, admired, or successful. The tension between these two selves is where much of our internal conflict lies. We are told to be ourselves, yet we are also bombarded with messages about who we should be: smarter, thinner, wealthier, more accomplished, more likable. We sculpt versions of ourselves that we think the world wants to see, often at the cost of our authenticity. But at what point does the act of self-improvement turn into self-betrayal? And more importantly, how do we close the gap between who we are and who we think we need to be? The origins of the divide. The gap between our real and ideal selves doesn't appear overnight. It begins in childhood. From an early age, we are rewarded for behaviors that align with societal norms and corrected for those that do not. We learn that some emotions are acceptable, while others make people uncomfortable. We internalize the idea that our worth is linked to external validation. This conditioning continues into adulthood. Whether it's family expectations, cultural norms, or workplace dynamics, we absorb unspoken rules about how we should act, what success should look like, and what makes a person valuable. Psychologist Carl Rogers, a pioneer in humanistic psychology, introduced the concept of the real versus ideal self. He argued that psychological distress occurs when the distance between these two selves becomes too great. The wider the gap, the more anxiety, dissatisfaction, and self-doubt we experience. In contrast, the more aligned our real and ideal selves are, the more fulfilled and authentic we feel. A 2021 study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that people who exhibited high levels of self-congruence, meaning their real and ideal selves were closely aligned, reported significantly higher levels of life satisfaction and mental well-being than those who felt disconnected from their true identity. Journal of Personality and Social Psychology, 2021, The Psychological Cost of Self-Discrepancy. The cost of living for the ideal self. For many, the pressure to embody the ideal self is exhausting. It requires constant performance, a relentless pursuit of an unattainable standard. Social media has only intensified this struggle. We are now not only comparing ourselves to people in our immediate circles, but to curated versions of strangers, celebrities, and influencers who project an illusion of perfection. The result? A generation of people who feel like they are constantly falling short because the goalpost is always moving. A 2022 survey by the American Psychological Association found that 72% of young adults reported feeling pressure to present a more ideal version of themselves on social media, even when it contradicted their real emotions and experiences. APA 2022, The Social Media Illusion. We wear masks not just to impress others, but to protect ourselves from judgment. But the irony is, the more we mold ourselves into an ideal, the more disconnected we become, not only from others, but from ourselves. Over time, the performance becomes a prison. What happens when we embrace the real self? The shift from the ideal self to the real self is not about abandoning growth or ambition. It is about learning to evolve while still honoring who you are at your core. It is about choosing self-acceptance over self-rejection and genuine confidence over forced perfection. People who embrace their real selves experience deeper connections. Authenticity attracts authenticity. When you are real, you give others permission to be real too. Reduced anxiety. Pretending to be someone you're not is mentally exhausting. Letting go of that burden is freeing. Greater self-acceptance. The real self is imperfect, but so is everyone else. Embracing it leads to self-compassion rather than self-criticism. A Harvard Business Review study on leadership and authenticity found that leaders who operated from a place of genuine self-awareness and authenticity were significantly more effective, trusted, and respected than those who attempted to project an exaggerated image of confidence or perfection. HBR 2022, The Power of Authentic Leadership. How to reconnect with your real self. The journey back to yourself requires unlearning, self-awareness, and courage. Here are some ways to start. 1. Identify who you are without the noise. Ask yourself, if no one was watching, who would I be? If there were no expectations, no pressure to prove anything, no fear of judgment, what choices would you make? What passions would you pursue? What parts of yourself have you silenced because they didn't fit the image you thought you had to maintain? 2. Challenge the ideal self. Whose version of success are you chasing? Are your goals truly yours, or were they inherited from family, culture, or society? The moment you begin questioning why you believe certain things about yourself, you start reclaiming your autonomy. 3. Accept imperfection. Perfectionism is one of the biggest barriers to authenticity. The need to appear flawless prevents us from being vulnerable, and vulnerability is where real connection happens. Brené Brown, a leading researcher on vulnerability, states that imperfections are not inadequacies. They are reminders that we're all in this together. Brown, 2021, The Gifts of Imperfection. Practice self-compassion. Instead of constantly striving to fix yourself, learn to embrace the person you already are. Self-compassion means recognizing that you are worthy, even when you make mistakes. It means treating yourself with the same kindness that you extend to those you love. 5. Let go of the need for approval. Not everyone will understand or appreciate your real self, and that's okay. Seeking universal approval is a losing game. The people who are meant for you will embrace you as you are. The rest are simply not your people. Final thought. Becoming who you were always meant to be. If you take nothing else from this chapter, take this. You do not have to be everything to everyone. You just have to be yourself. Your worth is not measured by how closely you fit into society's definition of success. It is not defined by how many people like or approve of you. It is found in your ability to live honestly, to be at peace with yourself, and to move through the world in a way that aligns with your values. If you ever see me choosing authenticity over perfection, know that it's not because I don't care about growth. It's because I've learned that true fulfillment comes not from trying to be someone else, but from finally allowing myself to be me. Questions for reflection. Have you ever felt pressure to present a more ideal version of yourself? How has it impacted your well-being? What parts of your real self have you hidden or suppressed? Why? What would it look like to live in closer alignment with who you truly are? Are your current goals a reflection of your authentic desires, or are they shaped by external expectations? What small step can you take this week to embrace more authenticity in your life? A quiet invitation. This week, be real. Say what you mean. Do what feels right. Stop apologizing for being yourself, because life is too short to live as a version of you that was never real to begin with. It's time to come home to yourself.